All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to put on our virtual lab coats because we are dissecting a modern AI chatbot. We're going to take a real-world project and break it down piece by piece to see exactly what makes it tick. So, let's get started.
I mean, you probably use them all the time, right? But have you ever stopped and wondered what is actually going on under the hood? It's definitely not magic, I can tell you that. It's this fascinating mix of super powerful AI, some really clever architecture, and a few secret ingredients. So today, we're going to peel back all those layers together. So our specimen for today's Explainer is this fantastic open source project I found on GitHub. It's called LineBot ADK, and what it is a template for building a really sophisticated chatbot on the Line messaging app. And get this, it's powered by some of the latest AI tech from Google. It is the perfect example for us to really dig in and understand how these bots are being built right now. Okay, first things first. We have to start with the most critical part of any AI's anatomy, the brain. And in our chatbot, the brain is Google's Gemini model. This is the large language model that provides all the intelligence, all the smarts.
Think of the Gemini API as the chatbot's entire central nervous system. It isn't just spitting back pre-programmed phrases. No, it's actually processing the subtleties of your messages, it's generating responses that sound incredibly human, and it can even do some pretty complex reasoning. This right here, this is the absolute core of the whole conversational experience. But, a brain can't just float around in a void. It needs a body, right? It needs a structure to support it. So let's move on to the skeleton and see how this brilliant brain is housed and supported by a really robust server and cloud setup. So this skeleton, it's actually a whole team of technologies all working together perfectly. You've got FastAPI, which acts like the spinal cord. It's super fast, super efficient, and lets all the messages flow. Then there's Docker, which is like a protective shell, packaging the whole app so it can run reliably pretty much anywhere. It all lives inside Google Cloud Run, which is like this self-regulating environment that scales up or down automatically. And to keep the keys to the kingdom safe, Google's Secret Manager acts as a secure vault. Pretty cool, huh? And this really shows the genius of using a serverless model like Cloud Run for the skeleton. See, with a traditional server, that thing is running 24/7, which means you're paying for it even when no one's talking to your bot. But a serverless bot, it only wakes up when it gets a message. The bottom line here is you only pay for what you actually use. That makes it incredibly cost-effective and super easy to scale. So, we have a brain and we have a skeleton. But what if we want our chatbot to actually do things? Interact with the real world. For that, it needs hands. And this is where one of the most powerful features of modern AI comes into play. This incredible ability is called function calling. It's that moment when the AI brain realizes, hey, I can't answer this question with just the information I have. So it makes a decision to use an external tool like an API or a database to find the answer or to perform an action. This is the leap that turns a simple conversationalist into a powerful assistant that can actually get stuff done. It's a total game changer. Seriously, giving a chatbot function calling is like giving it superpowers. All of a sudden, it can reach out to a weather API and get you a live forecast. It can connect to a translation service or even look up a customer's order details from a private company database. I mean, you can essentially connect it to any external API you can think of, which makes its capabilities almost limitless. Okay, so we've dissected the brain, the skeleton, and the hands. Now that you understand the anatomy, what about building one yourself? Let's switch from dissection to construction and look at the blueprint this project provides for anyone to follow. Now, it might seem complicated, but the blueprint is actually pretty logical. You start by choosing a home for your bot, the chat platform. Then you build its skeleton by setting up a server. Next, you give it a brain, integrating a language model like Gemini. Once it can think, you give it those hands by implementing function calling. And with all the pieces in place, you deploy it out into the world. And then the final, and I mean critical step, you lock it all down by securing your credentials to keep everything safe. So, why did we spend all this time dissecting this one project? Because understanding this anatomy is absolutely crucial right now. These aren't just little tech curiosities. These are the fundamental building blocks for the next wave of software and services. Take a look at this number, 27. At the time we looked, that's how many developers had starred this project on GitHub. Now, that might not sound like a huge number, but it's a signal. It represents a growing community of builders who see this not just as a bunch of code, but as a valuable, reusable blueprint for their own incredible ideas. And this quote from the project's analysis really just says it all.
This isn't just about one chatbot. It's a launchpad. It's a reference implementation that demystifies the whole process and empowers pretty much anyone to start building their own thing. And that brings us to the final thought. Now that you get the anatomy, the brain, the skeleton, the hands, the possibilities are truly endless. So I'll leave you with this question. If you could give an AI chatbot any tool, connect it to any data source in the world, what problem would you solve first? The blueprint is here. The rest is up to you.